Character streams are designed for reading and writing text. Unlike byte streams, they handle character encoding automatically, converting between the bytes stored on disk and Java's internal Unicode representation. So why character streams? We have discussed this one, but let's see. Text files aren't just sequences of bytes. The same text can be encoded differently depending on the encoding scheme. Okay, UTF-8, 16s, 2 or 4 bytes per character, ASCII, okay, ISO, 1 byte per character, like that. So if you read a UTF-8 file using a byte stream, multi-byte characters get split apart. So for example, this one in UTF-8 stores this one as 2 bytes. A byte stream reads those as 2 separate values, and our program sees garbage instead of this one. So this one is wrong thing when we read like text files using file input stream, because here we will be reading bytes. We can do this one with our character stream that can handle encoding, okay, automatically. We can provide like our encoding scheme, okay, then we can do this one. Gets a proper Unicode character, is correctly read as 1 character, okay. So character streams solve this by sitting on top of byte streams and doing the encoding, decoding, translation for you. Maybe we can copy all these, okay. Okay, so we can import this one, right. And this time we can proceed with different file, let's say notes.txt or maybe log.txt. We can see here we have something like this. So if we read this data, then we will get same output. We can copy this thing and here we can paste this, okay. Or maybe we can do this one from our here, and in that case we can do some practice. So we can use here FileWriter, okay. All right, we can wrap this one inside this FileWriter. Definitely we need to change the name here. So the second argument is for append. Append is just fine, okay. So fw.write hello world, and we can put here something, this one. All right, now we can read here, okay. We can put here our while loop, this one, b equals to our this fis dot read not equals to this one. Then we can print not this one, our char b, okay. And same thing we can do with this one. And here we can do with this one, something like this, okay, char c. All right, we can put here not println basically. So this is how we can do, and from this code you will see we will not read properly this data, okay. We can check this one, compile this, run this. What's that? Okay, and so this is how we can write. And again we did same mistake. We make this one log, okay, and also this one. And one more thing we have here, we are checking 1, okay. So this will cause like infinite loop, so make this -1, okay. Now we can compile this one, okay. So you can see in this one we are getting the correct value, okay. Here we are getting 2 values, garbage values. Same thing here. So this is the difference. Now we can proceed further. FileReader and FileWriter, we just seen FileWriter, okay. The simplest character streams for file access, reading a file character by character. So we can use FileReader, okay. Character equals to this, same thing. Writing text to a file, we have this one .write method here, okay. Now append mode, by default FileWriter overwrites the entire file, okay. If we have to append our data, then we can pass the second argument true, okay. Always specify encoding. File reader and writer use the system's default encoding if you don't specify one. Now next one, buffered reader and buffered writer. Reading one character at a time is inefficient. Okay, like same thing we have seen in our previous chapter. So each read call may trigger a disk operation. A file with 10K characters means 10K disk reads. Okay, and buffered reader fixes this by reading large chunks, 8 KB by default, we have seen this one, into memory at once. Your read calls then pull from this in-memory buffer instead of hitting the disk each time. And this one is much faster. Okay. Unbuffered file reader alone, like that. Okay. But the biggest reason to use buffered reader is the read line method. This is the most common way to process text files in Java. So let's say you have one file, data.txt, and we can read line by line instead of characters. So our buffer reader will return like string, our entire line as a string. And for string, which is object, our default not a value means that we have to check this one not equals to null instead of -1. Okay. Null means end of file, and we can print this one. Notice that read line returns null at the end of the file, like single character reads. The return string does not include the line terminator. Okay, this one. Buffered writer provides new line for platform independent line breaks. So we can call this one. Okay, writer.newline writes this one on Linux, Mac, this one on Windows. Why new line instead of just writing this one? Because Windows uses this as its line separator, while Linux, Mac use this one. So new line makes your code produce the correct line encoding, okay, for whatever OS it runs on. Now reading an entire file. Sometimes you just want the whole file at once, not line by line. Then we have one way as a list of lines. So buffered reader, we can write, like we can wrap this one, file reader. Then we have this one. So if you will check, maybe we can copy this one. We can remove those things and we can print this one here. We can import this. And if you go inside this dot lines, then this one will return your string. Okay. And we can call toList on strings. All right, we can put here log. We can just print this one. Okay. We can compile this. We can run this one, so you can see. Okay. As a single string, we can also do that. Collectors.joining, we have seen these methods for Java 11. And this one is from an IO package. We will see this one later. So we have this method, read all lines. Okay. These one-liners handle opening, reading, and closing internally. For quick file reads, they are the cleanest option. Now, next one is PrintWriter. PrintWriter is the most convenient writer for formatted text. So it gives us the same method like print, println, printf methods we are used to from our system.out. Okay. And definitely this one is more popular because of this one. Autoflush, normally data is buffered and written in chunks. If you want every println to immediately write to disk, then like useful for log files, then we can pass this one true. So new PrintWriter, new FileWriter, like this one true. Okay. Autoflush on. One thing to watch out for, PrintWriter silently swallows IO exceptions instead of throwing them. And if we need to know whether the write actually succeeded, we can call this one, check error. So first we can call this one, writer.println, and then we can check this one, .check error. We can also create a PrintWriter directly from a file name, skipping the FileWriter. So new PrintWriter, this one, okay. Instead of relying on this one FileWriter, we can directly create this one from our file name. Okay. Now next one is bridge classes, InputStreamReader and OutputStreamWriter. Sometimes we have a byte stream like from a network connection or a process, but we need to read it as text. So these bridge classes convert between byte streams and character streams, reading bytes as characters with a specific encoding. We have a byte stream, okay, from a network socket, a zip file or something like that. We need to read it as text. So we can read like bytes this one, and we can wrap InputStreamReader this one outside this one, and this one is like bridge class that will convert our byte stream to character stream. Okay, and then basically here we can read our characters using BufferedReader. So this is how we can do some practice. Again, this read line will return string, so must check with null. Writer characters as bytes with a specific encoding. So BufferedWriter, OutputStreamWriter. Then we can write something like this. Okay, writer.write this one. In fact, FileReader is just a convenience wrapper around InputStreamReader plus file input stream. So when we need explicit control over encoding, or when our data source is a byte stream, not a file, we can use these bridge classes directly. Okay, now let's proceed with our next one, which is scanner for file reading. And this one is like alternative reader. Scanner is an alternative to BufferedReader that's especially useful when we need to parse structured data with different types, not just strings. So definitely we can use scanner. And again, this one is very important, parsing structured data. Okay, line by line reading. Scanner equals to new scanner. Okay, new file. This one we can provide here character encoding. Now while scanner dot has next line, we can read that and we can print this. So parsing mixed types. This is where scanner really shines. If our file contains something like this, we can read each piece as its proper type. Okay, so scanner, new scanner, this one, and string name equals to scanner.next. John, we will get age, score. Okay, so basically our scanner is useful when we need to pass different data types, okay, from the same stream basically. Okay, now next one we have custom delimiters for CSV style data. Scanner.use delimiter, okay, while scanner has next. So we can do this one, string field equals to scanner.next.train. Okay, so we can work with different kind of structured data with scanner. BufferedReader, faster for large files, slightly slower, uses regex internally, returns only strings, can parse int double, okay, directly, throws IO exception checked, throws unchecked exception. So if we are using BufferedReader, then we must handle this exception, okay. But for scanner, we don't have to handle exceptions. We will get unchecked exceptions in this case. So best for reading text line by line, best for parsing structured tokenized data. All right, now next one is character encoding, best practices. Encoding platforms are some of the most frustrating bugs. Okay, something like that. Always specify UTF-8 explicitly is the universal standard today. All right, that's fine. Watch out for byte order mark, especially those created on Windows. Start with a hidden this character. If your program reads a file and the first line has an invisible character, that breaks comparisons on or parsing. Okay. All right. Now practical example, processing a log file. You can see extract errors. So we can search errors words. Okay. First we can write this one. Now here we can search contains this one, line dot contains. Then we can print that line and also error count. This uses two resources in one drive with resources, a reader for the input and writer for the output. Both are automatically closed. Now quick summary part, and we can move forward with our next chapter, which is byte streams.